All right, guys, let's talk about how to effectively market to humans, which is everybody's audience. But I want to break this down into a way that maybe you haven't thought about before. Um, and so, one of the quotes we use in our marketing, in our business, and in life really is arousing the other person an eager want. So, how do we get people to buy from us? How do we get people to like us? We have to basically be more interested in them, and we have to give them a reason to be interested in what we're doing. And so the principle of this is it comes straight out of Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, one of the best books I've ever read in my life. I highly suggest you read it. It has changed the way I've thought about a lot of stuff and how we've run our business. And so, what does this mean? Essentially, what this means is instead of focusing on what you want, present your ideas in terms of what the other person wants, needs, or values. And when people see how something benefits them, they're much more likely to be interested and take action. People naturally are wired to talk about themselves, to think about themselves. That's human nature. And so we have to use psychology, we have to use human nature, right, the way it's intended to be used. And so when we speak about things in a way that benefits other people, they become more interested in your service. So I think the natural thing as contractors to do is, hey, we build decks, we build patios, we do, install HVAC systems. When in reality, we should be selling an outcome, right? And so I want you guys to focus on this. Stop thinking about yourselves and stop talking about yourselves, right? Things like we've been in business 20 years, we're licensed and insured, we offer quality craftsmanship. A lot of this is probably in your marketing jargon. And it's not a bad thing. Like this builds trust, this builds some authority. People want to see that stuff, but it's not the things that they buy. Okay, they don't buy your service because you have quality craftsmanship. Like everybody in the world's going to say they have quality craftsmanship, right? We have to start talking about outcomes in our marketing and our sales. And so people care about things like a cooler house, lower energy bills, a kitchen they're proud of to show off, a roof that won't leak. They care about you know, getting a service so that they don't get ripped off, to increase their home value, to finish a project before guests arrive, to host parties, an area to relax in, an area to have their kids around more. We're speaking outcomes at this point, okay? And this is what our marketing has to do, okay? So the best contractors market the outcome, not the service. That's number one. Okay, so the next thing is core human wants. This is the things that people care about. These are the things that human nature is geared towards. And so we have to market towards these things. And across every industry, marketing is tapping into one of these core areas here. And so we're going to go through them real quick. And I want you guys to think about these things. Okay, the first one is financial wants. So people want to save money, they want to make money, and they want to protect their money. Okay, an emotional want is they want confidence, they want peace of mind, they want security. A social want is like status, respect, recognition, belonging. Listen, everybody wants to feel important, right? That is one of the core human wants is to feel important. Everybody, I don't care if you think you do or not, you want to. Okay. The next one is convenience, which is they want to save time, they want to reduce the effort, they want to eliminate the hassle. Okay, the next one is survival, which is they want to avoid pain, they want to avoid loss, and they want to avoid risk. Okay, and the last one is aspiration. They want to be a better version of themselves, they want to achieve a goal, or they want to fulfill a dream. Okay, and so when we think about those things, think about how we could put them into your marketing. Think about your service, the outcome that you're selling, and which category that you can put these into. The more the better, because this is where a lot of your testing is going to come in. If you can hit an emotional angle, a financial angle, a social angle, a convenient angle, survival, an aspiration angle, you could test different angles to see what your market is really wanting, right? And so it's important to us that we know these things, and it's important to us that we utilize these things in our marketing. Okay? So let's go a little further now. So now that we know the human wants, we know the premise that we need to market on, let's talk about some weapons that we can use in our marketing. Okay? Now, these are going to be a lot of your testing, your ad copies, your creatives, your creative angles. These are the things that are really going to set you apart as somebody who is marketing their outcome. And so let's go through these a little bit. And the first one that I love to use is seasonality. Okay? People buy based on timing and on urgency. And so let's take, for example, an HVAC contractor. Something like summer emergency repairs, or spring beat the summer rush, or fall furnace tune-ups, or winter heating failures. Like those are seasonality offers that we could put into our marketing. Okay, if it's roofing, like before the storm season or before winter, or concrete, like get it done before summer entertaining. Like that's seasonality. Seasonality creates natural desire. Okay, that's number one. The second one I like to use is fear of future cost. So humans are often motivated by avoiding loss than gaining something. So they're more motivated by avoiding risk, avoiding loss, avoiding damage than gaining something for themselves, right? And so examples of this is like that small roof leak could become a $15,000 mold problem, or energy bills will continue climbing if your attic isn't insulated, or waiting until peak summer could mean 2-week HVAC delays. It's not fear mongering. Like we're not being like, this is not false, it's factual. And so we're helping them understand the consequences of them having to wait. And when we put things like this in the market, we end up getting eyes quicker and people into the pipeline quicker because they're like, oh, I need to get that done now and not in 2 weeks. That's a benefit for us. Okay, the next one is social proof. People want what other people want. This goes back to the Bible. Like we're talking one of the 10 commandments, do not covet thy neighbor's belongings, right? And so what do we do as humans? We sin. And this is huge. People want what other people have. People get jealous. This is human nature. We have to play to some of that emotion. And so using things like before and after photos, using things like reviews, using things like video testimonials, neighborhood projects, verbiage like we've completed 14 roofs in Boise this year. Now a prospect's going to think like, my neighbor trusts these guys, so I should trust them too, right? Or that deck looks really cool and my deck sucks. Like, who did your deck, right? So the social proof is a huge aspect. Builds trust really quickly. Okay, number 4, status and pride. This is huge in like remodeling, outdoor living, more so in like those value, those want-based marketing, or those want-based services, right? Not so much in the need-based services, but the sexy services. Status and pride hits huge. So people rarely buy kitchens, but they buy pride, compliment, status, enjoyment. Same thing with like patios, right? So instead of custom cabinets and quartz countertops, we want to be selling the kitchen that your family actually wants to spend time in. Instead of selling a patio, we want to sell like the future spot where you will host your kids and their parties, right? Like you're selling outcomes that play to their need for status and pride. And a lot of high ticket clients, a lot of high ticket leads fit into status and pride. We're talking $1 million homeowners, all this stuff. A lot of them love status and pride. So we need to market to that. Okay. The next part is convenience. The next one. So many homeowners are overwhelmed. You got to sell simplicity. And so things like 1-day installs, or we handle all the permits, or financing available, or text updates through the project, like things like that in your sales process, the eager want becomes like, oh, this is going to make my life easier. So why wouldn't I go forward with it? Okay, next one is certainty. The biggest fear in home services is, am I hiring the wrong contractor? And the weapons that we use with uncertainty are like detailed process, guarantees, warranties, transparent pricing, timeline commitments. People buy confidence, and when they're confident, when you can instill confidence in them in your process, they're probably going to buy from you, right? Because nobody wants to hire somebody that's going to be a headache. Like it's just not worth it. And so that's also something that you guys could utilize in like your marketing to educate on like people that are maybe undercutting them or using bad processes or whatever. We can use some of the certainty angle to get those people to go with us instead, right? So this is really good in your sales process, your marketing and your sales process. The next one's local relevance. Generic marketing performs really poorly. We have specific marketing wins. And so examples of this are like Boise homeowners are seeing 30% higher cooling costs, or the Treasure Valley hail damage inspection. Like the prospect immediately feels like this is for me because we're calling out an audience, we're calling out an area, right? And we're giving a little bit of proof in there that we're relevant, right? But this is more so like calling out your audience. So you'll see in a lot of our ads, we always call out the area that we're working in because it specifically speaks to that. You could also call out if you're working with commercial or something like, hey, Boise area home or business owners, whatever, right? You want to call out the specific audience. So that local relevance really gets them to think like, oh, yeah, he's speaking to me or they're speaking to me. The next one is life events. So many projects are triggered by life changes. I say this a lot to contractors a lot when I talk to them actually, but in general, people don't like making decisions until they're forced to make decisions, right? People don't make changes until they are forced to make changes. And this is what life events mean. So new baby, moving, retirement, selling a house, hosting holidays, aging parents moving in, like this is going to capture attention because again, we're speaking directly to people that are going through these life events. And so we're marketing to the event, not the service. And that's going to set you apart. Okay, next one is visual transformation. Contractors possess one of the strongest marketing assets available in before and after photos. So people don't buy concrete or they don't buy patios or they don't buy HVAC units, right? They buy certainty, right? Again, they buy outcomes. And so instead of concrete, people buy a beautiful patio or a finished basement or a remodeled bathroom. They're buying the outcome. Okay, so they're not buying concrete. So we can't just like put a roof up or a house up. Like you have to market the outcome, the finished product. Okay, showing transformation is one of the biggest things you could do, and show it relentlessly. The more you have, the more trust you're going to build. Okay, and the last part of this marketing weapon is scarcity. When this is done honestly, it's super powerful. Now, a lot of people do this not honestly. Like they're like, oh, we could only take 2 more, and we know that's not true. You got to toe the line of like, yeah, that's BS, and yeah, that's actually true. But scarcity, when done right, is super, super powerful. So an example of done right is like limited install slots or summer schedule filling up or storm response crews booking quickly. It's not fake urgency because it's actually going on. And you have real availability constraints. And when you do this, people tend to act quicker because they have a fear of missing out. Okay. And so I want you guys to take these marketing weapons, look at the core human wants and say, how can we apply these to our marketing to get a much more effective campaign? And what I found is the ultimate formula of marketing is to hit a pain point, hit at least one motivation, 2 better, hit an outcome, and hit urgency. If you combine those 4 aspects of your marketing into like your ad copy, your creative, all that stuff, like you are going to get people in the door. You're going to get lead flow. You're going to get people in appointments. And the better you do this, the more volume you're going to have with qualified people. Okay. And so this is what I found in the last 4 years works really, really well. It's what we use on a lot of our contractors. And so just here's an example of like seasonality plus pain plus outcome plus urgency is like Idaho summer temperatures are coming. If your AC is over 10 years old, now is the cheapest time to replace it before emergency breakdowns and peak season pricing hit. Schedule your free evaluation this week. And so we're not selling an AC unit. We're selling comfort, savings, and peace of mind, which are things that homeowners actually want. Okay. So that's the biggest thing. And let's go through some examples on this. And I'll go through a couple different niches here, but this is the formula, guys. Like if you want to run effective marketing, you have to be able to do this. 1, again, doesn't matter what you want. It matters what the other person wants. We have to buy into that. Okay. 2, we're not selling services. We're selling outcomes. 3, we have to understand the core human wants and how to market to them. 4, we have to know what weapons to deploy within those core human wants. And 5, give you a formula for, if you hit these 4 areas together, you're probably going to get leads. So let's take a look at a couple different niches. Let me pull up something here and take a look. So let's go with like realtors first. And most realtors sell homes, listings, market experience. And what buyers want is security, better schools, more space, status, wealth. And so like a weak positioning would be like, I'm a top producing realtor with 50 years of experience. And a strong positioning would be like, get into the neighborhood, get into your dream neighborhood before rates drop and competition explodes. Okay. You could see that we're pairing those things together within that positioning. Okay, let's talk about maybe a dentist, right? Most dentists sell cleanings, veneers, implants. What do people actually want? They want confidence, attractiveness, no pain. And so, like, weak marketing and positioning is like state of the art dental technology, and strong positioning is like smile without covering your mouth in photos, right? That hits more pain and it hits more outcome than anything else. Okay, let's talk about pest control. What pest controls? A weak position is like, oh, this is what we're selling. We're selling spraying, right? What do homeowners want? They want peace of mind, cleanliness, and safety. And so weak positioning is like quarterly pest treatment service. Strong positioning is like never see another spider on your house again. Okay. Now, is that actually going to happen in pest control? Probably not. But that hits to the pain point of what they're experiencing probably in the moment. Okay, let's go to a couple more. Let's do scroll down my list here and find another that might be more relevant. Roofing companies. So what do roofers sell? They sell roof replacements, roof repairs. What do homeowners want? They want security and they want the avoidance of catastrophe. And so you might be positioning for free roofing estimates, whereas I might be, as a strong positioning, say find out if that small leak is about to become a $20,000 problem. Okay, that's a better way to say we're going to do an inspection. Okay, let's do one more here, and well, let's go to landscapers. Okay, what do you guys sell? Lawns. Let's go to lawn services for ease, or patios. But this is pretty applicable to like lawn service, patios, decks, whatever. Homeowners want pride, status, convenience, and so like we'll just stick to the lawn maintenance part here. But a weak position is like weekly lawn maintenance, and a strong position is like have the best looking yard on the block without lifting a finger, right? Patio might be like, instead of like have a nice new patio, it might be like be the hit of the town where people want to come over and hang out, or want to come to, be the next best host of the neighborhood party, whatever that is. That speaks to status. Okay, and so this is probably the biggest thing you can learn, and test all of these things. When you understand these, and you could test these and find out what angles are hitting, because if you can create advertising that hits all six of these core human wants using these weapons, you're going to be able to put together some really killer campaigns, and you're going to understand that, hey, people in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, really freaking, are aspirational, like whatever it is, whatever the core human want is. But people in like Minneapolis might not be the same. They might have a completely different want, and we have to be able to market to everybody in order to market to our ideal client. That makes sense. Okay, so wanted to come on here and give you guys this because this has helped. It's helped me in our marketing, and I think it could help you easily. And so I want to leave you with one thing here, and I want to leave you with like an example of a patio builder with this formula. And so let's talk about, maybe the pain is I can't enjoy my backyard. The motivation is I want to spend more time outside with my family and friends. The outcome might be a beautiful outdoor living space, and urgency might be like summer is coming, the schedule is filling up. And so we have a couple different examples here with angles. We can hit a family-focused angle, right? We could hit a pain and status angle. The family focus would be like, summer's closer than you think. Right now, your backyard may be the most underused part of your home. Instead of hosting cookouts, relaxing by the fire pit, or enjoying evenings with your friends, you're looking at a space that doesn't invite anyone outside. A custom patio transform your backyard into a place everyone wants to gather. And our spring installation schedule is filling up quickly. Start now and enjoy it all summer long with a CTA of Book Your Free Patio Design Consult, right? And so that's a family-focused one. The next one might be like a pain and status example. So again, we're taking marketing weapons. We're hitting human core wants with pain and status. So stop looking at the backyard you meant to fix last year. Another summer is coming, another season of avoiding the backyard because it's unfinished, cramped, or simply not a place you enjoy spending time. Imagine stepping outside onto a beautiful custom patio for your entertaining, relaxing, and making memories. The homeowners who enjoy patios for summer are scheduling them right now. CTA, reserve your installation before summer. Okay, let's take a look at maybe a couple more here. Another example, lifestyle plus urgency. We're combining motivations, okay? So the headline is Best Summer Nights Start Here. Picture this: your friends around the fire pit, dinner with the family outside, a cold drink after a long day. The problem isn't that you don't want these moments, it's your backyard isn't built for them yet. And so our installation calendar fills up every year as temperatures rise. Schedule your patio project now so you're not waiting until summer is already gone. CTA, get your free estimate. Okay, and one more. Let's go to fear of missing out plus emotional outcome. And so the headline is, don't spend another summer inside. You bought a home with the backyard. Why not actually enjoy it? A custom patio gives you the outdoor space you've always imagined, perfect for relaxing, entertaining, and spending more time with the people who matter most. Summer projects are booking now. Secure your spot before the schedule is full. And the CTA is start planning your patio today. So you're going to notice a pattern in these. One, the pattern is your backyard isn't being used, or the pain is your backyard isn't being used. The motivation is either family time, entertaining, relaxation, pride. Those are your motivations. Your outcome is creating a beautiful outdoor living space. Urgency is summer is coming. Installation slots are limited. Okay, so I just basically took those 4 things: pain, motivation, outcome, and urgency, right? Or really 3. I took pain, outcome, and urgency, and I created multiple motivational angles around that. Okay, so this is a proven formula because it sells the life they'll live on the patio, not the concrete pavers or the construction process itself. Okay, so really, really entertaining stuff, interesting stuff that maybe you are not interested in as a construction individual or like a home service contractor, but it's stuff that we're really interested in. And this is how we get our ads working really, really effectively and our marketing working effectively. If you want to talk to us and see how we can do this in your business, I'll drop a link in the description here on how to book a call with our team, and we'll check it out. We'll go over your business. We'll see, where the advantages that we could take, that we can capitalize on. And we'll show you what it looks like to work with us. So that's all I got for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed it. I got more stuff coming, so definitely check that stuff out. And let me know how I can help you guys. Comment in the comments below if this is helpful for you. Please subscribe to the channel because I'll have more coming. Yeah, see you guys next time.